Britain's animals are under threat. All too often, our wildlife and domestic pets are the victims of cruelty, persecution and neglect. Fighting to save them is a dedicated band of people trying to protect and care for them right around the clock. This is Animal 24/7. Today on Animal 24/7, the bruising battle to rein in and rescue a frightened foal.
We do need to get this foal off this land and into a place of safety where it can be properly looked after.
A Heathland fire sparks a mercy mission to save some of Britain's rarest wildlife.
They're completely unaware of what the hell's going on, disorientated, the whole lot. They're suffering every anxiety thing you could think of.
And the high-tech tools being used to track down the country's cruelty offenders.
In a lot of circumstances, we don't have the evidence that an offence has been committed. Now, CCTV puts a completely different spin on that.
Horses are very popular pets, but keeping them requires a major commitment of time and money. Sadly, here in the UK, the number of abandoned horses is increasing every year, with hundreds reported. So, of course, when a wild horse gives birth, another unwanted animal is added to that number. Hatfield in Hertfordshire. This field is home to a group of horses, most of which are well looked after. But the RSPCA has been concerned for a mother and its foal, both of which had no owner and were struggling to cope. The mother's already been removed, and now officers have returned today to round up the foal. Inspector Mel Fisher has 10 years' experience dealing with horses. She and her colleagues have already made one aborted attempt to rescue the foal, so now she knows today's operation will be a real challenge.
Because the foal's very wild, we weren't able to catch the foal initially, and so we took the mother for her own safety and for her own welfare because she was very sick. But we can't leave the foal here as no one's come forward to claim the mother, and so the people who use this field and own the other horses in the field state that the foal doesn't belong to them. We need to make sure that this foal is looked after, cared for and monitored, and if it's not owned by anybody, then it's obviously going to be in its best interest if we can do that and take it to a place of safety.
Mel's colleague, Pete Warnes, knows that removing this foal today is essential.
Nobody's responsible for it. It might be able to wander around the field, eat grass, get some water and so on and so forth, but if it gets sick or whatever, it becomes our responsibility in a way. Because we've removed one, theoretically we're responsible for the other.
Police Community Support Officer Karen Broad is here to help. This is her field of expertise.
I will basically just talk to it quietly and gently and get it to gain my trust, and as my colleagues keep calling it, horse whispering, but I'm not so sure, I'm not a horse whisperer. So in my pocket I'm laden with carrots, which I will try and entice it to gain my confidence.
But despite being armed with goodies, Karen knows this won't be easy.
My worries today for this little foal is because it's never been handled, it's been handled perhaps never. It's going to be extremely frightened, extremely nervous. Then the other problem I've got is once I've actually got hold of it, it is likely to either try and run off or it's going to rear and buck all over the place. So we're going to have to be extremely careful, and it is going to be a very long, slow process. In I go, into the lion's den.
As Karen attempts to befriend the foal, Mel and Pete are trying to distract the other horses, who clearly aren't as nervous.
We'll just try and keep everybody calm in the field, and hopefully Karen can work her magic, fingers crossed. It's a bit of a juggling act to try and keep them away from Karen, but without stressing out the little foal. So, yeah, I think we might run out of carrots, but we'll have to see.
As Karen predicted, this isn't going to be a straightforward job.
No, it just keeps pulling faces at me.
She tries the sneaky approach.
I'm just trying to use this one to work my way down towards it.
The team is very anxious about this foal. The problem is, any attempt by Karen to get near ends with it shying away. So it's looking like plan A isn't working.
So can you get closer at all, or?
It'll come close to you, but as soon as you try and get eye contact with the pony, it turns around and walks away.
So far, trying to rein in the foal has proved a frustrating process.
It wants to come, but it's just so timid, and apparently it was born in here. So that's not going to help, because it means it's never ever been handled. It wasn't handled to be dumped in here either.
So it appears they'll need to resort to plan B.
We do need to get this foal off this land and into a place of safety where it can be properly looked after. If we can't manage to approach it enough to put a head collar on it, then it looks like we might have to use the tranquiliser rifle to dart it, and that will sedate it, and hopefully that would mean that we can then pop a collar on it and lead it into the horse box.
It seems like sedation is the only option.
Are we calling it a day?
I've managed to stroke its bottom, but as soon as it realised I'd got hold of, a finger on it, it was off. I don't think I'm ever going to get near enough to its head. I think you'll get close enough to dart it.
Oh yeah, that's not a problem. It's just how it's going to react to being stung on the bottom, and where it goes.
Vet Anna Turk has been on standby and arrives with a sedative.
So that's enough for a 400 kilo horse. He'll only be about 300 kilos.
Oh, he's having a little roll.
The dosage is all important.
We need enough because getting that from court onto a box, you're practically going to have to knock it out to get it on a box anyway.
Yeah.
For the team, this is very much a last resort, but they need to remove this foal today.
There's just no other way. We can't even get close enough to get a syringe and hand administer the drugs. So this is going to be the only way we're going to be able to catch the foal, and it's just going to be a small injection into its bottom. So hopefully, once it's been startled by the actual dart going in, it shouldn't feel too much, and the sedative will work really quickly. So the vet's supplied the drugs, and this is the RSPCA dart rifle equipment that we use. It takes about 20 minutes. Once the drug's been injected, and then hopefully it'll be nice and quiet, nice and calm, nicely sedated, and enough for us to be able to go and put a head collar on it.
With uncertainty over how the foal will react to the dart and the sedation, the team knows this might not be a straightforward process. Still to come, tension rises as the team aims to sedate the foal.
Easy, fellas. Easy, fellas.
Well done, Mel. Brilliant.
And the tactics helping to tackle some of Britain's worst acts of animal cruelty.
I can only imagine he wasn't aware there was a camera in that lift.
Heathlands are home to some of Britain's most rare and precious wildlife. They're the perfect habitat for reptiles, mammals and ground nesting birds. But one of the biggest threats to the wealth of wildlife that lives there is fire. So when a huge blaze took hold of a heathland in southern England, it triggered a rescue operation like no other. Poole in Dorset. And on the outskirts of the town, the biggest blaze in decades is ripping through a heath. 200 firefighters are battling to stop the flames from engulfing nearby homes. But another tragedy is also unfolding. This 500-acre heath is a site of special scientific interest and a habitat for some of Britain's rarest species of wildlife. And sadly, much of that wildlife has now been decimated. It's 5 days after the fire, which destroyed around a third of the heath. Where there was once glorious green, now black dominates. Volunteers have come from all parts of the country to help save any animals which have just managed to survive. Steve Davis of Dorset Wildlife Trust is in charge.
We went through all sorts of emotions last week when we were sort of stood helpless watching the fire brigade trying to tackle this thing. Yeah, we've worked on it for years and years and years, and we knew what was being engulfed in it. And you really did feel down just watching it. It's been raining all weekend, it's been raining today. But as soon as you walk on today, you get that sort of catch in the back of your throat, the acrid smell of the smoke. Just walking across this wilderness.
Steve and his team have been here every day since the fire. And so far they've recovered around 110 animals which managed to take refuge underground from the flames. Many of the animals they picked up are clearly pregnant, and that's helped to emphasise to the rescuers just how important their efforts are. Today the team's back again to look for any signs of life in the devastated area.
This Heathlands have got international importance. It's got so many rare species on it that just cannot survive anywhere else. When they're now emerging into black, they're really easy to spot, and we've got buzzards, gulls and all sorts of picking them off. So we're going out there with our volunteers over the next few days to rescue these things and transfer them onto unburnt areas of the heath.
All 6 species of British reptile can be found at Upton Heath, including the adder, the only venomous snake native to the UK.
Some of the adders out there are very, very small, and they are easily confused with small grass snakes or smooth snakes, so no picking up any snakes at all, and I'll come across and do that rescue.
Across the charred remains of Heathland, volunteer Andy Fail is handling a snake, but this one's not likely to hurt him.
Well, we got a dead smooth snake here, unfortunately, one of the casualties. We thought we might find a few of these. It looks to me like this one has actually survived the fire, unfortunately, and then has actually perished.
The reptiles that have survived are emerging into unfamiliar, barren surroundings. The volunteers only have so much time.
We're actually here for the live ones. We think there's quite a lot more out here, and it is a bit of a race against time. I think we've got pretty much only this week, really. Beyond that, I don't expect to find anything.
It's not just reptiles that have been killed by the fire.
We've found several animals that were caught by the fire. Rabbits, unfortunately we've even found a couple of deer. Finding a fawn was probably our darkest point.
Ground nesting birds have also suffered, including the rare nightjar.
Nightjars have literally just arrived back from Africa. Massive flight, all on their own. They come back here to nest for the summer. The trouble with a nightjar, their reaction to danger is not to fly, it's not to flee in any way. They depend on their camouflage, and their natural reaction, if they feel threatened at any time, is to hunker down, keep quiet, keep still, don't move because the danger will pass. We were hoping all day on Thursday, as we were watching the fire progress, we were hoping to see some nightjars flying and getting out of the way. We didn't see any. And that just reinforces that these things did literally perish at the flames because their defence doesn't take into consideration fire.
But despite the low points,
there we go.
The team take heart every time they find an animal that has survived the blaze.
A lovely little common lizard. It's in remarkably good condition, considering what it's been through, but it will have been probably underground or in one of these little tussocks of grass there, and it's only now felt able to come back up and try and find cover. It's always really good to see something and to be able to rescue it, and I'm sure if he could speak, he'd thank me if he knew what he was doing.
It's a long way for Steve to find a suitable release site for this lizard. And as volunteers fan out over the heath, others are making similar discoveries.
Oh, it's a common lizard I found on this heavily burnt up bit, just sort of sitting there really, feeling really sorry for itself. And it's lost its tail, looks like it might have been burnt off, but it still survived. So this one's going to go back onto the little bit of heath that's still remaining and hopefully survive to live another day and have some more baby lizards.
Sifting through what's left of the lost habitat, the volunteers need to be extra vigilant, as this area is a breeding ground for Britain's only venomous snake, the adder. And that's exactly what Steve is receiving an urgent call about. Still to come, Steve dices with the danger posed by a feisty survivor.
Because it's poisonous, we really are in a difficult situation with trying to recover that. But we'll see how we get on.
And tension rises as the team struggles to bring a foal under control.
Easy, 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 easy.
The RSPCA are in the front line when it comes to tackling animal cruelty. Last year they investigated nearly 160,000 cases, resulting in over 2,400 prosecutions. Often the tip-off comes from members of the public, but now officers have a new tool to catch some culprits red-handed, leaving them nowhere to hide. CCTV. Salford, Greater Manchester. And inside this tower block, Maddox, a defenceless puppy, falls victim to a brutal and cowardly attack, which is too shocking to be shown on television. It's a vicious and sustained assault from the one person who's supposed to care for him. A split second after we froze these pictures, the dog was subjected to continuous kicking and punching, lasting a full 3 minutes. Trapped inside the lift, Maddox couldn't escape the violence. With nobody else in sight, the drunken owner thought he would escape justice. But someone was watching. The whole incident, which is one of the most disturbing we've ever featured on Animal 24/7, had been captured on camera, and the RSPCA was alerted.
Hi, Kathy.
Nice to see you.
Chief Inspector Kathy Hyde picked up the case.
Extraordinary brutality.
And it's just walking obediently on the lead.
He looks very worse for wear.
With 10 years' experience as an RSPCA inspector, Kathy's dealt with a huge range of cases of animal abuse.
Is the dog doing anything? It's not trying to bite him.
No, you can see the lead is static.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening down there.
But she's used to picking up the pieces, so seeing this assault unfold before her eyes was something new and alarming.
This was one of the first times I was involved in CCTV being used as evidence, so that was very shocking for me the first time. A newly qualified inspector was made aware of the CCTV footage. Very sensibly, the person who recorded it saw it in the CCTV for the Housing Association. She went and collected a copy of the footage. She came back to the group office. She'd not viewed it at that stage, and obviously I was sort of thinking, well, have a look at it, see whether the allegation stacks up on what we'd been told. Officially, we'd both finished our shift that day, so we put the CCTV footage into the computer to play, and we'd not seen the whole of it, and we were already getting out of our seats because my key thing was that dog needed to come away from that situation, and it was happening immediately.
With this level of violence, Kathy didn't know if Maddox would be alive when she reached him.
Well, I've seen it on the screen, but this is the actual scene of the crime. What were you and your team thinking as you got here?
I think the most important thing for us was that we were going to get the dog away. Having seen the brutality of the attack on it, I wasn't prepared to leave here without the dog coming into our care, to get it to a vet, to get it checked out.
And about how long after the actual crime happened were you here?
Well, we were not completely sure when the CCTV footage was shot. It may have been the previous day, but basically we collected the footage from the CCTV operator, and we were here probably within about an hour and a half.
Inside the lobby, 6 cameras captured the whole ugly incident from every angle.
So you had pretty much every step of this guy's way tracked, didn't you?
We did, from the moment he came into the building. I mean, the first one we pick him up on is this camera here.
Right.
And you see him kick the dog for no apparent reason. This is the lift that the incident took place in.
There's the camera.
Yes. I can only imagine he wasn't aware there was a camera in that lift.
It's like being beaten up in a box, isn't it? I mean, there's nowhere for him to escape the blows, is there, the dog?
You can't see the dog, so the dog is obviously making itself as small as possible in the corner, out of the way, to try and avoid the brutality of the attack.
The attack continued all the way to the 13th floor.
Animals do understand right from wrong, but this dog's probably thinking, what have I done? Because there's no obvious, disobedience or anything from this dog.
Maddox did survive, but his injuries were not immediately obvious to Kathy, and without CCTV evidence, she knew she would have had to walk away. Happily, she rescued the defenceless puppy, and the owner received a 3-month jail sentence.
He got, most importantly, a life ban from keeping any animal. The main purpose we prosecute is to deprive people of animals that they've abused or neglected, and also to ensure they don't get the opportunity to do that to another animal in the future.
So CCTV was absolutely key in this case. Is that just a one-off?
No, it's something that we're finding increasingly coming into our prosecution investigations. More and more people are aware of CCTV, recording footage and notifying us. So I'd urge anybody who has access to CCTV footage or even phone camera footage, more and more people are filming footage on their mobile phones. If something, comes to their attention, they need to notify us.
Since Maddox was rescued, CCTV control rooms like the one that helped save him have become a key tool for the RSPCA.
Well, this is a pretty impressive array of screens, but unblinking eyes like these now look out over many of our towns and cities. And sadly, Maddox isn't the only animal cruelty case that the RSPCA have caught on camera.
In recent years, the number of camera-led prosecutions has rocketed. Who can forget this shocking case? If it wasn't for CCTV, the poor cat could have died in the wheelie bin. Instead, it was saved and the offender was successfully prosecuted. And it's not just CCTV cameras catching out the culprits. Mobile phone evidence is also increasingly common. It's how this thug was brought to justice. Kathy has found camera evidence has become a powerful weapon in the fight against animal cruelty.
But a lot of it is about the quality of evidence. So how important can CCTV be in giving you that really top stuff?
It's so important, because we do get a lot of allegations of dog beating, and sometimes it's somebody's heard something, sometimes they've seen something, and it can come down to somebody's one word against another. But in a lot of circumstances, it's not enough. We don't have the evidence to prove beyond reasonable doubt that an offence has been committed, and they're the hardest ones, because sometimes we have to walk away. Now, CCTV puts a completely different spin on that.
If it wasn't for security cameras, Maddox might still be trapped with his abusive owner. But today, he's happy, healthy and rehomed with new owner Liam Jones.
Hi there.
Hi Liam, how you doing? Is this Maddox?
It's Maddox.
Come and say hello.
How's he doing?
Doing good. Very well.
It's hard to believe that this is the same dog I saw cowering in that lift.
How does he look to you, Kathy?
He looks fabulous. I've not seen him for probably about 18 months. And what I noticed most is his personality.
Yeah.
Because although when we picked him up, he wasn't, specifically underweight or anything like that, he was very subdued and a little bit nervous. But, he's a different dog, isn't he? He's really keen and excited and, obviously very happy.
He certainly is, and it's great to see. Hopefully Maddox can now look forward to a much happier future.
It's a very violent beginning to this story, but a joyful ending.
Absolutely. I mean, look at him now. He's very happy, very fit, very settled in his new life. And, without the use of, without the evidence of the CCTV, he would have remained in that very, very threatening and violent situation, probably for years, and that may have, resulted in him coming to much more worse injury. But to see Maddox as he is now, happy, fit, healthy, in a very safe home, is so satisfying and gives you such a boost.
Now we're returning to Hertfordshire and the RSPCA's attempts to rescue a foal. They've already removed his mum from the field and found her to be in a very poor condition. And because no one's claimed ownership of the two horses, they need to take the foal as well. But this is proving much more tricky.
This foal was born in this field. He's never been handled and now nobody's caring for him. RSPCA Inspector Mel Fisher and her team are anxious to take him with them today. But he's extremely nervous around people, and the only way they can lead him away is to sedate him with a tranquiliser dart.
Obviously we've got the drugs in the top half of the dart. It's a gas-powered dart, so I need to be able to insert some pressure into the end of the dart itself. Then we put the fluffy pink pom-pom on the end so that we can find it if it does fall out, but these are barbed darts, so hopefully it should stay in the foal. It's always a risk. You're administering a drug, and obviously drugs have side effects. I've darted ponies before. I don't see it being a problem, though it is quite a large field. The problem that we have is that obviously they react to being stung initially by the dart going in, and seeing as though this foal is a bit of an unknown entity, we don't quite know what the reaction is to the dart entering the skin. Unfortunately, there's just no way we can sort of move the foal into a more restricted area, so we're just going to have to play it by ear.
Mel's colleague, Pete Warnes, is here to help. Even once the foal's sedated, moving him to the horse box could be difficult.
I'll let the foal get used to being in the field and let me walk round it, and then we'll take a shot and
See what happens.
see what happens.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Mel gets as close to the foal as possible, and she's ready to take aim.
Ready? Come here, sweets. Easy, fellas. Easy, fellas.
Well done, Mel. Brilliant.
It's a perfect shot. And the foal doesn't appear to be overly traumatised.
Yeah, no, that went really well. It didn't react quite as excited as I thought it might.
The team's plan is to give the foal as little sedative as possible to relax it and bring it under control. But after 20 minutes, it's clear the horse still needs more.
He's going to have another one.
We erred on the side of caution. Obviously, we don't want to give a foal too much sedative. We've approached the foal, and obviously it's still quite lively, so we can't actually get the required head collar on that we need in order to load it. So with discussion with the vet, we've decided to give it a further slight sedative. So we'll go back in and we'll pop another dart in.
For a second time, Mel hits the target. But once again, they'll need to be patient to see whether the drugs take effect.
The little horse is starting to look sleepy, so we're going to try and get a head collar on it. But it's still going to be a slowly, gently affair.
As it turns out, one more dart isn't enough. The team have had to be patient and very cautious. Eventually, they're ready to try and put a collar on it.
Good boy.
But the frightened foal is still showing plenty of spirit.
Easy, 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 easy.
This may all be for his own good, but he doesn't understand that.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
He's just not used to being around people.
We'll go sideways. That makes any easier.
At last, they have him under control.
Good boy.
He's a good lad. Come on.
Come on.
Just about.
It's okay. It's all right. Come on. It's okay.
It's taken over 6 hours, but the foal is finally loaded onto the trailer.
It is a relief that we finally got him in the box. I mean, it's not over really until we've got him in the stable, so hopefully he'll travel okay. He seems quiet now that he's confined. But yeah, at one stage I was wondering whether we were actually going to be able to get him in this far.
It's now a 2-hour trip to the stables. And despite how confusing it must have been for him, the foal doesn't seem to be disturbed by the journey.
He's doing really well actually. Because we had to give him some sedatives, there was a bit of worry how he'd travel, but he seems to have travelled okay. So we're just keeping it nice and quiet, nice and gentle as we get him out, because obviously the sedative's worn off somewhat. So he's going to be quite frightened, and we don't want him injuring himself while we try and get him out into the box.
The foal might be frightened, but this is the best place for him.
It's the stables that we use quite regularly, and they are brilliant at bringing on underweight foals and ponies.
Nobody's ever cared for him, and because he's been sedated, it's vital that a vet checks him over straight away.
Now that we've got him close up, we can see that his feet need attention, he's underweight, and his coat is very woolly and matted, which is why they've called him Womble. So Womble's going to need a lot more care, and so it's made us feel even more justified in having him removed from the field, because if he'd have stayed where he was, his feet would have worsened, his weight would have dropped further. So I'm really pleased we've managed to get him out when we have.
So Womble can look forward to some long overdue TLC as he finds his feet in his first ever stable.
It's nice to see him all settled in. Obviously it's going to take a lot of work to get him used to being handled and interacted with, but at least he's in a nice safe place. We know someone's going to be looking after him. Yeah, it's been a good end to a very long day.
Still to come, the farrier braces himself for the hazards of handling a wild horse.
I've broken a rib from being kicked, and I've broken my foot twice from a horse just startling.
Earlier we saw how fire destroyed a large part of one of Britain's most important wildlife conservation areas. Around 200 firefighters were called to tackle the blaze at Upton Heath near Poole in Dorset. The fire wiped out hundreds of rare birds, lizards and snakes, but now a dedicated team of wildlife experts and volunteers are embarked on a desperate mission to save as many survivors as possible.
It's hard to believe, but just days ago this 500-acre heathland was a thriving haven for some of Britain's rarest wildlife. Now, after the fire, around a third of Upton Heath has been reduced to a wasteland. For people like Steve Davis from Dorset Wildlife Trust, the blaze has proved a devastating blow.
These heathlands have got international importance. We've worked on it for years and years and years, and we knew what was being engulfed in it. We went through all sorts of emotions last week when we were sort of stood helpless watching the fire brigade trying to tackle this thing.
To save themselves from the flames, Steve believes many animals burrowed underground. Now, 5 days on, the priority for Steve and his team of volunteers is to rescue them as they resurface.
It's always really good to see something and to be able to rescue it. And I'm sure if he could speak, he'd thank me if he knew what he was doing.
This prized heathland is one of the few places in the country where it's possible to find every species of British reptile. And volunteer Andy Fale has found the most dangerous.
Found a live adder, amazingly, and amongst all this black, it's still surviving.
Due to the risk of being bitten, only Steve has the necessary experience to safely handle Britain's only venomous snake. It's been 30 years since the last person died in this country as a result of an adder bite, but he knows he needs to be careful.
It's in a difficult position actually because there's a lot of tangled roots and things. Because it's poisonous, we really are in a difficult situation with trying to recover that. But we'll see how we get on.
It's only a small adder, but typically they're the most aggressive. To try to protect itself, the adder releases a fluid as a defence mechanism. If Steve were to be bitten, he'd need urgent medical attention.
Okay, this is a adult female adder, and obviously very, very feisty. Understandably, it's frustrated, it's angry, it's frightened. I think I'll release this one as soon as I possibly can. But well spotted, thanks for that guys, it's just what we need to do. I think that's probably the most feisty one of the lot. The ones we're picking up are really, really quite aggressive and feisty, and I think that is to expected really. They're completely unaware of what the hell's going on. They're suffering every anxiety thing you could think of.
They found this snake in the heart of the burn site, so Steve faces a long walk with the angry adder. He chooses her release point carefully, making sure it's a south-facing bank.
On a sunny day, this will be bathed in sunlight, and it's perfect for her to come out early in the morning, do a bit of basking, get her body temperature up, ready to go off hunting. So she's got everything she needs here. Her slope, she's got cover, she's got food. What more could you want as a snake?
The fire has been especially devastating because it hit during the peak of the bird and reptile breeding season. It seems they've saved this adder just in time.
I would strongly suspect she's pregnant or she'll be giving birth. So yeah, it's a nice thought really to rescue not just one adder, but all its young as well. Every cloud has a silver lining, and this is the silver lining for this one and for the people that found it.
With every single snake and lizard they release, the volunteers know they're making a difference.
Just knowing that we can help, really. There's not much we can do, but it's just been amazing, the amount of people that have shown up.
There he goes, little baby. That's him.
And the thing is, if we've saved one, they will go on to reproduce, and means we've saved many in the end.
And we'll probably be here again tomorrow and so on, as long as we can keep finding a few reptiles.
The heath itself will eventually regenerate, but for the rescuers, what makes this even harder to bear is that the police believe the fire was started deliberately. By the end of the 8-day rescue mission, Steve and his team had saved around 560 animals and given fresh hope to the future of this precious wildlife haven.
What's really lifted us is people responding to our call to arms, if you like, to go out there and give us a hand. Let's get something rescued. And for those people to come out there in this sort of weather, just to help a reptile, has been, yeah, heart-lifting, that's what I'd say.
Finally, back to the story of Womble, the foal who was abandoned in a field in Hertfordshire. With no owner and having never been handled, the RSPCA was facing the difficult task of rescuing him. Womble's name came from his scruffy appearance, so now the team caring for him must smarten him up.
For the past month, Womble has been settling into stable life. Until coming here, he had had no human contact and was terrified of people.
Easy, 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 easy. It's all right. Come on. It's okay.
After a dramatic day rescuing him, RSPCA Inspector Mel Fisher is back to check on Womble.
The people here have been fantastic on trying to get him used to being handled, used to being around humans. And now he's sort of at the stage where we can start looking at treating him and getting him shipshape so that we can think about rehoming him at a later date.
But before they consider that, Womble needs a complete makeover, and his overgrown hooves are the biggest concern.
I'm here today to assist the vet and the farrier so that we can sort his feet out, sort his coat out because he's still a bit tatty, hence the name Womble. So hopefully we can get him a mani and a pedi and get him sorted out and just see how he goes, really, see how he goes with the interaction.
Womble is a bit tamer these days, but for the farrier to work on his feet, he needs to be sedated again.
Although Womble is only small, he's only a young colt, he's probably a year at best, he's very muscular. So if he's kicking whilst the farrier's got his leg, the farrier could get very badly injured, so it is a big risk, so the sedation is definitely worthwhile doing.
Farrier Alex Rowley is experienced in treating nervous horses.
It can break your arm, yeah. I've broken a rib from being kicked, and I've broken my foot twice from a horse just startling. I've been kicked in the stomach before with no shoe, and that hurt a lot, so yeah.
The dart gun won't be required today. Vet Christine Jones will sedate Womble.
We've got two ways of sedating him. One's into the vein and one's into the muscle. The in the muscle takes a bit longer, but it will be a lot easier to do on a really anxious horse. So we're going to go into the muscle, wait 15 minutes. He'll probably be sedated enough, but if he isn't, then we can just top him up IV into the vein for the farrier.
Womble has developed some confidence around the team here at the stables. But for Christine, approaching him with a sedative is a delicate matter. A bit of food bribery could be required. But Womble's as sharp as ever. A Eventually, Christine is able to administer the sedative. And it soon seems to be working.
Womble's actually reacted to the sedation really well, and he's now nice and snoozy, head on the floor, and that's exactly how we want him really for the farrier, so he doesn't get really worried and stressed.
This seems an ideal opportunity for routine antibiotic and tetanus injections. As we've seen before though, Womble's never too keen on an afternoon nap. But Christine thinks he's ready for his pedicure.
I think that it's any sharp noise
Yeah,
and any sudden
he doesn't
movement,
like
but
it.
then he calms back down again, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Time for Alex to start work.
I think he might need a bit more. Good lad.
But he realises immediately this won't be a walk in the paddock. True to form, Womble is showing plenty of spirit despite the sedation.
He's all right. He's just scared. He's absolutely petrified. He's never been handled before, so all he thinks is that someone wants to kill him. As long as you keep close, and with his feathers, I can hold on to his feathers.
Finally, Alex is up and running.
I don't think he's ever been touched.
No, he hasn't. I mean, we had to daunt him to get him out the field in the first place. So yeah, he's never had anyone pick his feet up or anything. And how they're looking.
They're all right. They're long, but they're not. There's nothing. There's no harm done as such.
Oh, good.
Just a case of chop the long bits off, and yeah, there's no real problem.
Just tidy him up a bit, really.
Womble continues to be a petulant patient. But Alex is able to finish the job.
There you go. There you go. Oh, little boy. Got your dancing shoes on now, don't you?
So that's the dancing feet taken care of. And with Womble still a bit sleepy,
Good boy.
Mel and the team take the chance to work on his matted coat.
I'm trying to break up the bits that are sort of the big clumps. I'm at the salon.
But Mel knows time is tight for Womble's makeover.
He's starting to perk up a bit, so just monitoring and make sure that he doesn't kick or get too stressed. So we're just against the clock, really, to see how much we can get done on him before he starts getting really perky.
The beauty therapy is almost over.
You're doing brilliant.
There's even a spot of furniture polish.
Don't you love fancy pants?
But there's no slouching on the sofa for the new look Womble. Once sedation wears off, it's time for his trim feet to go wombling free.
Just seeing him now in the daylight out of the stables, you can just see what a transformation. His feet are good, he's not as knotty, he's put on a little bit of weight, and his coat's coming right. So, yeah, it's little steps, but it's really good news.
Womble has come a long way since that battle to rescue him a month ago.
To see him as he was in the field, I couldn't do this in the field. The guys here have done a brilliant job getting him used to being a bit more handled by humans and realising we're not all scary, we're not all nasty.
It shouldn't be long before he has a new home.
I'm really pleased. He's come on so well from how he has been to how he is now. I'm chuffed to bits. I couldn't ask for better.
If you think you know of a case of wildlife crime or a creature that needs immediate protection, remember there are dedicated professionals out there who will answer your call right around the clock. They are the people we meet on Animal 24/7.